MindStudio, as I said, it's really helped us. It's given us the platform to bring our ideas to life, really, without the need to bring in our technical teams, at least for our team being non technical. I'm Siobhan Steriker. I'm the Talent Insights and AI lead. Within HM Revenue and Customs, and within HMRC, I am in a talent acquisition function. So, not your usual techie, I suppose. I'm very much, how can I help the greater good? I've really got that sense of public service in me, being able to at least help solve, some of the challenges that as a whole country we face, and being able to bring in technology to assist with that. We've really been trying to highlight what a great employer HMRC is, and why come and work for us. People have to work on some really cool projects that impact the whole of the UK. I was quite lucky, my director, he did have a very keen interest with AI himself as well. And I think between us, we geeked out, we share tools, and really start to think, wow, how can this add value to what we're doing day to day? There's so much potential. Back when OpenAI released ChatGPT to the public, my interest peaked in generative AI. It seemed like hundreds of tools coming out per day. I'm really trying to get through all them. So I signed up to a few. There was so much coming onto the market in terms of products, but MindStudio just stood out straight away. All these ideas that I'd had of, oh, wouldn't it be great if there was an app for that? Like I could actually just go and develop it. Off the back of that, my role was created in looking at the talent acquisition process and how we can adopt generative AI within that process to make it better. I sort of refer to it to people that haven't used MindStudio. It's a bit like Lego. You've kind of got all the building blocks there. You can start small, which is what we did. As your ideas grow, as your own experience using MindStudio increases, and you get more knowledgeable around the system, you're then able to bring in more of the sophisticated blocks. Just starting off with a small Lego piece and putting those initial blocks together to create your MVP, and then bringing in sort of other elements after that has been great. And then, of course, not having to start again if a new, better AI model comes out, you can just literally, go into the block and just change that. And it was just great for us. It's almost, future proofed the platform and the tools for us as well. I was just so fascinated. Started building some sort of tools around our sort of work area, and it just went from there, really. The first one, it was a tool to help hiring managers create a job ad. When we had a look at our talent acquisition process, we literally stripped it down from start to finish, and we had a look at how and where can Gen AI add value to what we do. What are the pain points within our process, and how can we use Gen AI to solve that pain? And so one of the areas was, that start of the recruitment process in terms of getting a job ad together. What we were finding was our hiring managers were reluctantly spending too much time trying to create the best possible job ad that they could. And then there was a bit of friction between them and our recruiters that were really helping them to get a good job ad, to be able to create a draft job ad in no time at all, and that feeding in things like our employer value proposition and what makes HMRC a great place to work, as well as diverse and inclusive language, really bringing that in, and having a job ad, a job spec, as well as interview questions generated, and outreach messaging as well, particularly for our recruiters because they proactively source candidates. Within seconds, that was then available, and then we had the text editor that then allows the user to maybe change the tone relevant to particular talent pool that they're looking to attract for a particular role. I think there was a bit of skepticism around, AI and the content that it generates. There was two ways that we went about this. So with our team of recruiters, they were initially a bit reluctant to engage, particularly around the sort of the social media scares of, oh, AI is going to take our roles. And so there was a bit of, why should I engage with something that is potentially going to replace me? We did a lot of learning around what Gen AI is and how it, how it can help someone. It was very much an education piece at first, bringing the team together, lunch and learn sessions, not even doing work related stuff with Gen AI. Once we then got people comfortable with using Gen AI, we then were able to pivot to, right, now that you're comfortable using it, you understand how it can help you in your, your day to day, as well as not only personal, but your work life. You understand its limitations. You understand it's not going to take over your role. It will take over elements of your role, but they're the bits that, are maybe a bit more, mundane, a bit more, monotonous. And actually, it allows you to focus on more human centric stuff, like just actually speaking to a candidate. That's a really positive thing. We were able to then get the buy in that way with our recruiters. And equally, we very much adopted an agile process in terms of this product development. We had that proof of concept. We then went, for a minimum viable product, got the team to use it, to test it, to provide us with feedback, and we created that feedback mechanism so that then they could then suggest different elements of what might improve that product. We would, rapidly respond to that feedback and go, hey, great, this was suggested and we've done it, here you go, try it again, give us some more feedback. So we've almost brought the team in on the development of the tool as well, because they're the end user and they're going to be using it. And I think that's really helped to secure that buy-in. The hiring managers were really keen to use it and gave us great feedback. One, they've attributed the tool to better quality candidates because they've actually managed to get a job ad that has attracted the right sort of candidates for that particular role. It can be quite time consuming, drawing up that job ad, thinking about all those different layers that need to go into it, let alone then even trying to change the tone of it to attract a diverse pool of candidates. There's even an element around, have we actually managed to increase our diversity of the candidates that are being attracted to our roles? Because again, we've managed to expand the interest and the attraction of that particular role, because we've used inclusive language, we've used more diverse language that appeals to a broader, range of people. We've also recently built that out so it caters for a number of different use cases, and we've done that in terms of workflows. It might be that for some of our teams, they just purely want to look at one specific location and want to know absolutely everything about it. But the tool allows them to do that. They can then interact with that tool once all that, initial high level data and insight on how HMRC can use that data has sort of been displayed. They can then drill down further specific to their use case. The tool draws upon some open source data, so all external data. We don't use any internal data, so in terms of that risk for us, it's very much minimized, because we're just going off what is already available on the internet anyway. It's just taken the hours of research out of that, put it all in the tool, layered with the AI model, which again we've used Claude 3.5 Sonnet for, and then that data is, it's presented to the user, as well as providing actionable insights, drawing on things like attraction, retention, outreach, and bringing to life our employer value proposition as well. We've then got the option to actually compare locations, which locations got the highest number of a particular talent pool, which areas got a more diverse talent pool. Are there, top employer or top large employers within a particular locations? Are that one actively employing in that area as well? Is it going to be worth our efforts focusing there, or should we go to the other location? We've then got a skill search. It might be that they're not actually quite sure where they want to initially focus, say, recruitment activity. So they might just put in, a particular skill or a particular job title that they're looking to recruit for. And again, it will come back with some of the top locations within the UK in terms of talent density, the diversity of that talent pool, other organisations employing that talent, really providing some great data and insight from that data that they can go on to help inform their decision making. Not only did it save them time when they were doing the job ad anyway and when they were creating the interview questions, but it then has saved time with the sift because they've not had to sift through a large amount of unqualified candidates. They were really pleased with that result. We've had early testing for around sort of 3 months of this tool on average, particularly for maybe a vacancy holder that's not recruited before. It's saving them on average around about an hour's worth of time. Now, in our organisation, it's about 65,000 people. We've got a lot of potential people that could be hiring managers. We're talking between 8 and 10,000 people. We recruit thousands of roles per year. So if I take the average of last year and the lower end figure around, even just 4,000 roles, that hour times by, that 4,000 roles is a significant amount of time and money saved. Showing the power of the time saved and the monetary attribute to that has been a real powerful message and really secured that buy-in, not only then for just our team, but for the wider business as well. I think on our last check we had we had over 60 users. Just this month there's already been around like 350 sort of conversations that have happened within the tool itself. The last time I checked, for last month, I think like the usage had gone up by like 360%, and it seems to keep increasing month on month as well. It's quite phenomenal, the adoption of it now that people are seeing the value. I anticipate that's only going to grow. Our aim is to have all hiring managers having access to it. So we're talking between 8 and 10,000 people that will be using that across our organisation. On top of that, we are HMRC within the civil service. We've got lots of other different departments within the UK civil service as well, and we've already had those cross-government conversations with them around the tools that we have built, and we are going to be looking at potentially building out other instances of this tool to go across the UK civil service. So that's quite mind-blowing, the amount of people that could potentially be using this. It's quite exciting. MindStudio, as I said, it's really helped us to sort of hit the ground running. It's helped us go from that blue sky thinking, that idea creation, looking at our process, thinking, great, where can we embed Gen AI here, and really, taking that initial idea right through to, here we've got a proof of concept, we've now got an MVP, and actually, we've created such a much better product than what we ever anticipated. It's given us the platform to bring our ideas to life, really, without the need to bring in our technical teams, at least for our team being non-technical. The level of detail you can go into within the platform is phenomenal. The workflows that you can build, the different function blocks that you can bring in, the fact that you can just pivot when a new AI model comes out, the fact that you can have multiple different AI models within your tool is mind blowing. We have spoken about MindStudio across the civil service. We've highlighted what a great platform MindStudio is for us to build on. We've also gone to industry events and we demoed our tools that we've built, and people were just blown away by do you know what? If a public sector organization can do this and can innovate and do it so quickly as well, and be pretty much ahead of the curve than a lot of the other private sectors, then what's holding us back? And we have recommended that people check out MindStudio based on that as well. It's really enabled us to get forward and have that competitive advantage. Thank you to you and the rest of the team. The level of support that you've all provided us has been superb. This is me, Siobhan Sterica, sort of, um, recommending MindStudio.